that people can be understanding the fact that in order to protect the integrity of this process, which is obviously going to garner some attention based on the status of our victim, we have to be a little bit limited in what we can share so that our court proceedings that I just outlined keep their integrity, and we don't have to worry about certain legal procedures or hurdles that come from saying too much too soon. So with that said, I'll share with you what I think I can. Basically, like I said, there's a call for service related to a shooting incident on Burton Lane here in Southaven. It was last Wednesday, round about 6:30. That kind of time frame, anyways. Police arrived on scene very quickly. When they got there, there were two people. You had Katt Williams and Reggie Carroll. So we have our shooter and our victim. They were both there. The police immediately kind of quartered them off to where they could make room to give aid or make life-saving attempts for Mr. Carroll. Quite frankly, at that point, he had already received multiple wounds. But as a matter of course, the police did every reasonable effort to try to help. Mr. Carroll was transported to the hospital where they could continue to try to help. At some point in the process, Mr. Carroll succumbed to those injuries. While that was going on, the investigation began. They did everything that you would ordinarily expect in an investigation to, take pictures, gather evidence, talk to people that may have knowledge of anything related to this, and ultimately they developed Katt Williams as a suspect. They believed through their diligent and thorough efforts that probable cause existed for an arrest warrant. An arrest warrant was signed by a judge, and Mr. Williams was taken into custody same night. I do want to dispel a few, rumors that may be going around. This was an incident between two roommates that knew each other. One of them is from California, one of them is from Maryland. This is not an indication that there's a problem in that community or neighborhood. This is not indicative of a violent crime issue in our city. It's just an isolated event that's limited to those two people involved. I know, and I don't want to gratuitously name drop, but based on their jobs as and their professions in the comedy world, they obviously run in the same circles with the same comedians. I want it to be clear that there's never been any reason before or now to believe that any of those comedians or organizations, business organizations, were involved in any way in what happened. This was a residence where only the shooter and the victim lived. This was not a resident of any other comedian or person. And, we've determined this is a very isolated thing. And so it is, when you have two people in a house and one of them loses their life and the other gets taken into custody by the police, there's not going to be much sharing of information about what happened right away, because you have one body in the hospital and one body at the police station, and neither of them had the ability to communicate to the outside world what happened. So other interested people that knew them, families, friends, business associates, probably didn't even know that Mr. Carroll was deceased until well after the fact, and they certainly were not present or involved. So with that, as I mentioned, I am joined by Chief Kern. We kind of talked ahead of time and agreed that I would kind of outline some of these things, but we're both here. We will field questions if you have any. Please understand, like I said, maybe limited on what we can answer, but we'll certainly answer the ones that we think we can.
Can you say what led to the shooting? Was it an argument? And then...
If you are sleeping in a position like this, you are wrecking your body and your breathing. Obstructive sleep apnea.
So I'm not going to get into the specifics of motives or build-ups or who did what. I just don't think this is. I understand that's a pressing question. That's just part of the case that's going to have to come out in court.
While the defense needed a week to just defend their client, how is it for your office? Are you all ready to bring those charges in court?
Yeah, we're scheduled for preliminary matters. We're certainly ready for that whenever they are. If they wanted to do it today, we would have done it today. If they want to wait a week, we'll wait a week. If they want to wait longer, we can wait longer. That's a defense right to have a preliminary hearing or a bond hearing. And so we'll be ready whenever they get around to asserting that right. So, any other questions?
So the house is owned by Katt Williams, is that right?
The house is not owned by Katt Williams. It was a rental property. There was another out-of-state company that was leasing the house, and the Katt Williams and Reggie Carroll were the two tenants of the house. So it was not Katt Williams' house. And I was trying to avoid names, but yeah, specifically, and I'll just say Katt Williams was not there. We have no reason to believe that he was ever involved in any way, shape, or form.
I know we're still early on in the investigation, but as you said, this is an incident that has had a lot of public attention. Do you have a timeline on when in the investigation or court proceedings that we can learn more about what happened, what led up to this? Like, is there a timeline for that? Do you know yet?
Yeah, so generally speaking, you always have a right to make public records requests. So the affidavit, you should be able to get a copy of that at some point. As far as me talking about the facts, I really don't like doing that a whole lot before an indictment. I would just say there were two people in the house. Obviously, this incident turned violent. The defendant used a shotgun to shoot multiple times at the victim. He used a 12 gauge. The ammo choice was slugs. I mean, other than that, I mean that's a little more information. But and the affidavit does mention that he used a shotgun with the deliberate design to effect death of Reggie Carroll. And I know once you read a shotgun, that you're going to have all sorts of visions in your head, and so I'll share that it was multiple wounds. I'm not going to put a number on it before the medical examiner's report comes in, but it was multiple wounds, and the ammo selection was slugs.
Did he resist arrest at all, or he just stayed there?
I'm not going to comment on the behavior. I'll say he was on scene whenever the police are both the deceased and the defendant were both on scene when the police arrived, and the police took the defendant with them, and the body went to the hospital. So I'll take one more if you have any. Otherwise, we'll just call it quits. That's it. All right. Thank y'all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.